this program to bring you a special report.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Wrestling Remembered. I'm your host, Joe Wednesday Lowry. Happy Friday out there for everybody that's tuning in live as well as on the replay. Tonight we're talking epic promos, but first we have my esteemed colleagues, and with me, first up, he is my brother from another mother, the poet laureate of the Monty and the Pharaoh channel, and the current champion of the 30. Let's welcome the master, the Mr. Benny Scala, a.k.a. the player. Benny, what's happening?
Yeah, I'm still basking in my glory. I got 6 more days till I defend my title. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Congrats, champ.
Don't pull a Tommy Rich. Keep that title, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And next up, he hails from the great state of Massachusetts. He's the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. He has the pecs that wrecks. He is the president of Thursday Nights. Let's welcome Mr. Phil DeCesare. Phil, welcome, brother.
Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. The sun is still up, baby. It's still light out. Welcome.
Yeah, it's still light. You got to love that.
Yeah.
And finally, he is the Thursday Night Disciple, the man who wears the pinstripes on wrestling's hottest game show, The 30. And as always, I heard in high school that he used to sell concert tickets. So let's welcome to the show, Bruce ESO. Welcome, Bruce.
What's going on, guys? It's always a pleasure to be here, and let's get this rolling. And congrats, Betty. Nice job last night, by the way.
Thank you.
And
dominant, baby. Dominant.
I know we mentioned it last night. Just a quick update that Maria Davis, the queen of, what do we call her?
She's the first lady of professional wrestling.
The first lady of professional wrestling is home recuperating from her bionic knee surgery. She's doing well. She's doing much better. She had a minor setback when she got out of the hospital, but she's doing well, and she's due back next week, she said. She'll be on. So
she'll be back to leapfrogs and drop kicks in no time at all.
I usually send her a quick video of the show, and I told her we'd mention her, so I will do that. So. And everybody in the chat, Jason, what do we got? Jason's here. B40, welcome.
B40.
Yep, and I see Baby Cakes as well in there. Thank you for joining us on this Friday night. And everybody else that's tuning in live. So we're talking epic promos. I'm going scriptless on this.
I love that. I love when you do that. It's still legal in Iowa, too, isn't it?
What's that?
You can still go scriptless in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Sure about that?
Personally, my favorite is going Aaron Go Braless and Southie on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know. You guys emailed me some stuff. I have some stuff, but epic promos. When you first think about it, where is he? Where's my boy? What do we think of first? This guy right here, Dusty Rhodes. Hard times. The real quick comment when a man has worked 30 years, and they give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, "A computer took your job, daddy." That's hard times. And what an epic promo that was. So let's go around the room real quick. Phil, what did you think of that one from back in '85 there?
Classic Dusty, the everyman, the working man, the American dream, who was not afraid to point out some of the faults in the American dream and kind of what people were facing in that time in the mid-'80s, of course. And we did see computers on the rise. So Dusty called it. That's when the fledgling Apple was taking off, too. So Dusty was rather prescient in his promo here. And look at him. How often do we see him so nattily attired in a suit, huh?
Yeah.
Sporting that suit, looking good.
Yep. Now, that one was, I think he was feuding with, was it
Flair?
Flair, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Flair at that time. It was right before the Tully Blanchard and all that stuff. But, yeah, that was one to remember. Benny, what did you think of that one?
I love because he was feuding. Maybe he was feuding too. Feuding with Flair. That the contrast. The nature boy. Limo riding, jet flying, and here's Dusty Rhodes. The common man, the working man, talking about the middle class of America. Just the contrast was absolutely perfect. And I do believe that the camera was always at chest level or above, because I think, like when you go to graduation and you wear the tie and the nice shirt and you have your gym shorts underneath your graduation robe. I think that was what Dusty Rhodes had too.
That's cool. That's cool. ESO, do you remember that one? I know it goes back a little bit.
I had to go back and watch it, but if you look at it, it was so profound because you could even take that and say it today, and it's still it can still say the same thing.
Yeah,
AI is taking over now, and it's putting more people out of business. But let's just talk about Dusty Rhodes. There, he had that drive to him. He starts with that pace and then slows just at the perfect time to accentuate that point. He was awesome. I mean, there'll never be another one like him.
Yeah, he did. He was amazing. I mean, he was a promo guy, anyways. His in-ring work ethic was unbelievable. We all know the Dusty Rhodes story, but he was just simply amazing on the microphone, and I enjoyed every time he came on. And he was used of a lot. And we do know that he did a lot of booking back then for the NWA. So that was the main reason why he got a lot of TV time as well. So.
There's a great promo out there, and I was scratching to find it, and I will find it eventually.
Okay.
But Dusty's talking about how he's lying in bed with his wife, and it's the middle of the night, and all is quiet.
Yeah.
And she puts her ear to my chest, daddy, and she, baby, and she hears thump, 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 thump. And she said, honey, what is that? And he said, that's the heartbeat of America, baby. It was classic. Oh, I can't do it justice, but it's out there. And like the Chevy commercial, the heartbeat of America. I think Dusty said it first,
And just to let our viewers know, the reason I can't actually show some of these videos copyright, we love the word copyright here on YouTube. So I don't want to risk putting something out there that could shut us down. That's why I got pictures of this. So, just to let you guys know that, and everybody that's watching, it's kind of difficult to do that. I'm sure we could dig around for some non-copyright, but still some of these main promos. So, Benny, you had some ones you sent me. What do you want to kick off with? Because I got them all marked off here.
I'd like to do Superstar Billy Graham.
Okay.
Break the Chains That Bind Me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This one right here. I got to
look at that.
Now, that was purportedly shot in the desert. I really think that was done in a drainage ditch in Lakeland, Florida somewhere.
Yeah.
So just a little backdrop for this is 1984.
Yeah.
Billy Graham is in Kevin Sullivan's Army of Darkness. And so I guess during a televised match, Kevin Sullivan pulled the Lock. I guess that was her name, the Lock.
Okay.
Who was actually Winona Littleheart by her hair. And Graham attempted to, be chivalrous and intervene. And I guess he starts arguing with Sullivan.
Yeah.
And Oliver Humperdinck nails him in the back with a chair. Then Sullivan takes his golden spike, maims him, and I guess they hangs him with a strap on the middle rope. Pretty. If you've never seen it, it's really graphic.
So
and
this is NWA days, right?
Oh, yeah. This is 1984. They're still Florida territory. And the next week, Sullivan and Humperdinck are on TV being interviewed by the very beautiful Barbara Clary. I don't know if you guys remember her.
Barbara Clary.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know that Gordon Soley was in the video, too. But I just, I had my eyes fixed on Barbara Clary. And Sullivan and Humperdinck are gloating how they eliminated Billy Graham. And they'll never see him again. And then Barbara Clary says, well, I have this audio tape, and they pan to that shot that you just saw. I'm going to read it. I wrote a story. I'm going to get a cheap plug in here for the Pro Wrestling Stories website, and it's titled 6 Times Professional Wrestlers Were Blinded, and this is one of the stories. And I'm just going to read, because to me this is the greatest single promo, my favorite promo of all time. Sure. But hang on one second. Here we go. First of all, Kevin Sullivan, I want you to know I am alive and well. I am not in an Egyptian tomb in Cairo. I'm not dwelling with the headhunters on the Amazon River. I'm not in the jungles of Borneo and Sumatra with the prehistoric pygmies. Now, I wonder who wrote this. Nor am I with the holy men in Calcutta and Tibet. Just as Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God, went into the desert of Judea to fast for 40 days and 40 nights to gain strength to fight the devil, I, being a mere mortal, have also gone into the desert, shackled to this river bottom, to cleanse my soul and spirit and gain the power I need to defeat you and Abu Dhaddin, to rid myself of every evil thing that you represent. Out of the silt, the dirt, the slime, the mire, and the disgusting, putrid, sick, and inhumane acts that make you what you are, Kevin Sullivan, in the moment that I know that I've been released from the powers of darkness and all the evil spirits that have left me, I will break these chains that bind me, tear loose these bonds that hold me. I will rise up from this river bottom grave and be free, free at last. And I will march, crawl, swim, if I have to, until I find you. And I will find you, no matter how long it takes. For there's no place you can hide. There's nowhere for you to run. Nothing and no one can save you. I am coming back. That is epic.
That's a long-ass promo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a long promo. Jeez.
Well, yeah, they don't really, he's not speaking it. I mean, they just show him, and it's just being read in the background. So obviously he's got the ability to read it off a piece of paper, but man, oh man. And then when he came back, they really didn't feud because I think Graham went back to the WWF right after that. So it never materialized.
Ironically, to Jesus Christ Superstar as his entrance theme too.
Right.
Yep, that's right. That's right. I'll just go down. There's one that I like. I'm going to throw it in here. Harlem Heat 1997.
Oh,
we all remember that.
WCW. We don't have to even play a video for this because this, I think everybody knows this epic one here. Obviously, they were going to face Hulk Hogan and all that, and he was on a roll. He was getting down. He was doing what he did best, and Booker T just said it. Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, and he just said it and slipped off his tongue. And if you watch the video, Sherry Martel is trying desperately not to laugh. And Mean Gene stayed professional the whole time and didn't blink. But you know, Booker T, once he said it, he kind of turned. I mean, it was a matter of seconds, but that is just wild. And I know ESO, you must have saw that one, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Definitely a classic one there. It's just like when Vince left that let it drop there too.
With John Cena, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember the Vince McMahon one. Yeah, I've seen that one. The promo.
What's up, Mom?
Yeah, and he's walking with this dude. And I can't. They can say that, but they're gonna blur it out. Holy shit! In the crowd, I don't get that.
But I gotta say, somebody that I think Mike Monty left out last night and should have been higher rated on that Wrestling Managers is that woman in the background there,
Absolutely.
Sherry Martel. She definitely transcended, from being a wrestler in the AWA in the 80s to becoming, such a force, man. She's managed, the Macho Man, Honky Tonk Man, so many people. So
she was one of the first women, I think, that took falls. I remember I was at Boston Garden. I want to say it was 90. I don't know, 90. It was Shawn Michaels was champion. And it was a steel cage match with him. Now, Shawn Michaels, I think, was the Intercontinental
IC champ, maybe 92-ish.
Yeah, he took on Ultimate Warrior in a steel cage at the Garden. It was a house show, and Sherry Martel was taking a bump inside the cage. And I was like, holy crap.
She was a female Bobby Heenan in so many ways.
Was.
Yes, that's a good point. Yes.
She could take a bump. She could talk on the mic. She could do it all.
She could do it all, yeah.
Yep, she's a WWE Hall of Famer. She was something. She was absolutely something, and she is missed. That is
a uniquely attractive woman. In
very,
definitely. What do we get? What else we got here? I just this is one of my favorites, and I see it in the chat. We got to talk about this one. Jumping Jeff Farmer.
Yep.
I saw.
Benny, fill us in on this guy. What do you got for us?
I'm not sure where this took. Was it GCW, some global wrestling? Like I think it was.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. Before this promo, that same guy, the announcer, said earlier today we talked to Jumpin' Jeff Farmer, and that leads me to believe that so this wasn't live, and this absolute this disaster was the best you could come up with, maybe in 10 takes. I'd like to see the other 9 takes, how bad they were.
What amazes me about this, if you go to find it on YouTube, the quality of the video is horrible. The video itself is I don't know what it was. I know there was no high def back there, but you can't find an ultra clear video of this promo. It looks like it was taped out on a UHF channel. They turned the channel and he was on, and they taped it, and then they switched the channel. It's kind of crazy. And I think Motley Crue had a promo following that too as well. I mean,
Yeah.
You turned the tables on me. I mean, he just, to me, when I first saw it, it looked like he was reading a teleprompter and somebody forgot to put the periods in where he needed to stop talking. And of course, that made him confused and it reversed everything that he was going to say.
It looked like he was rehearsing for a high school play and he was scared shitless. I mean, he was terrified.
Yep.
Reminds me of a president I know, but
hey guys, $10 baby cakes. Joe Myers just donated. Thank you,
Joe.
I don't like it when things aren't going my way.
Yep.
And I actually have you seen the match, the actual Jeff Farmer Motley Crue match?
Yeah, it's got a weird camera angle too, isn't it? Like above the ring, it's like a weird. Yes. It's crazy.
And he's coming full force, but he gets the ever loving shit beat out of him for about 14 minutes. He pins Motley Crue with a small package, and then gets the shit beat out of him after that. That was his coming full force.
Yep, that is just amazing. I'm trying to find the actual script on it. Hold on. I think it's right here.
And CM Punk does a YouTube video of him imitating Jumpin' Jeff Farmer, which is also like classic.
Right. Oh my God, I can't find. They don't have it listed, but I'm trying to remember some of the stuff that he was saying. Like,
turn the tables on me. You turn the tables on me.
You done me in the wrong way,
one way or another, and try to cheat me.
Yeah. And what else? You stabbed me in the back.
Backstab me one way or another. So I guess there's different ways of backstabbing people. So he did it various ways.
Yep. Thank you, Joe Myers. That's awesome. $10. We love it.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Great. You guys in the chat can do it as well. I'll mention you. Not that we don't mention everybody there, but this money actually goes. I mean, ESO, you know more than I do. This money actually goes to, some part goes to YouTube and some goes to the channel. So basically that is supporting the channel, correct?
Absolutely. I don't know what the breakdown is. Mike does all the financials. He wants me to take over, but he hasn't sent me anything with it yet. So
the Maserati is in the garage. He just hasn't given you the keys yet.
Exactly.
So if we get a postcard from Mike from the Matterhorn, then we know where the money went, right?
Matterhorn. Now another one that you sent me, Benny, was this one. We all love Roddy Piper. Frankie Williams.
I love when he says, I'm Columbus, Ohio. Like he's not from Columbus, Ohio. He actually is Columbus, Ohio.
Yep.
And then Roddy Piper mistakes. I don't run from nobody. I ain't got no room for nobody.
Yeah.
Poor Frankie was never on WWF TV after this.
Yeah. And really? That's an interesting note.
Last appearance. Yes, sir.
So that's probably why they did that. They probably said you're going to go out with a bang. And he took a beating as well as he was dressed to wrestle. I don't know where he was going. He was on Piper's Pit. I don't know if he was ready for a match or not. But when I saw this, I immediately thought that, Frankie's taking a beating here. I don't know. Something's going to happen. But I put on my Facebook page, it's ironic that you sent this to, I think it was last Saturday, was the actual anniversary. I think it was April 12th. So it was this past Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Championship Wrestling, that took place. That is when he beat up Frankie Williams, took him down, and the camera guy followed him, and Piper went up to the camera, and that was the infamous just when you thought you had they go and change the question or something like that. That was the anniversary of that. Phil, you got something on that?
No, I was just going to say that the very infamous quote from Piper. Yeah, just when they think they have all the answers. I change the question.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was just amazing. And then Benny, when you sent that, I'm like, oh my God, the anniversary.
I read a very funny quote online. It says somehow he ended up on Piper's Pit, where Frank would showcase his mic skills that would make Andre the Giant look like the captain of the Harvard debate team.
Unbelievable.
You don't throw rocks at a guy who's got a machine gun, right?
That's right. Yeah. I love it. I mean, they're all classics. I mean, they should just put those in the Hall of Fame, those ones. But
Frankie really was from Cleveland, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Armando
they found with all the stuff where Piper used to write his notes down.
Yeah.
It was crazy, all the stuff in there.
Yeah. So Jumpin' Jeff Farmer, unbelievable.
Yep.
Going down here, let me try and see what's going before we take a quick break. We did that one. Let's all right, let's do this one. This kind of hits home. Roman Reigns. Benny, what do you got on this one? Yeah.
That was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
My name is Joe.
Yeah. Yep, and he has leukemia. That was tough. I mean, when I first saw this, when I watched this, because he was getting booed pretty good then. Nobody really, this is that Vince McMahon experiment at that time that they were just pushing us over. They were really giving it to us and all that. He had won the Royal Rumble and everything, and he comes out and he had just won the title too, right? If I'm not mistaken. It seemed like this title was jinxed because a lot of stuff like that was happening. You have Finn Balor, him.
Yeah.
And he came out and he said, "My name is Joe. I have leukemia." You saw the crowd just be like, "Okay, real life is now happening. What is going on?"
It got very quiet.
Oh,
very
yeah.
quiet.
Wind out of the sails.
He kicked off Raw with that, right? He kicked off Raw. That the Raw was after a pay-per-view, I think, or something like that. A premium, well, whatever it was called. It's called whatever now, premium live event. But yeah, so do you remember that?
No, that was actually when I was still on somewhat of a break. I was starting to watch wrestling a little bit again, but I was still on a break. But that was kind of one of those things that brought me back into wrestling around those times. Is some of the publicity that it was getting.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the media scrum after WrestleMania. I think it was after the first night, and he was in there and he kicked some lady out. He was really in character.
Yeah, and
then he picked somebody and. The question was, how are you handling your disease, your leukemia? And like the question came out of nowhere. And I don't know if it was a planted question or not, but he went from Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, to Joe real quick and said that I'm still in remission. However, I do take daily chemotherapy drugs.
Yeah.
And I will be taking that. And he will be taken for the rest of his life. And that was like, to me, because, night one of WrestleMania, I'm telling you, I wasn't as great as everyone says it was. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. But when I saw the media thing afterwards and I saw that and I'm going, wow, like, okay, now we're going down this road again, kind of, after you answered the question, he was back to being the tribal chief, of course, but to kick off a media thing on, on night one of WrestleMania, and that's the question you're going to get. That kind of took me by surprise. Phil, what'd you think of that?
Took the wind out of my sails, man. Yeah. And the fact that he, has competed for so long at such a high level, right, while grappling with something really, I mean, that would just wipe out a lot of normal people. It's just a testament to his character and his conditioning and just everything, and really makes him, I mean, very endearing, and it's, he's.
Did we lose you?
He's a special guy. He's one of my favorites. So, I'm going to miss him while he's gone. I'm comforted to know that he's relatively well. He's going to go do a movie. So he's living his best life for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this post WrestleMania thing, I wrote, I do a newsletter every week in Bill After, and I said it was 3 weeks ago before Mania, Rock is going to retreat after WrestleMania, and it's going to affect a lot of storylines, and it has. Think about it. The bloodline's changing. No Roman Reigns. I don't know when he's coming back. You got Tama Tonga. It's a lot of changes going on.
Yeah.
And The Rock dropped something, I think, today that he said he's coming back for another match. So I don't know what that's all about. So either that's after his movie or in between stuff, because he's supposed to be busy up until SummerSlam. So who knows? But, obviously, and if you're just tuning in now, we talked about it during the break. Seth Rollins just been revealed. Becky Lynch on a podcast in Ireland. She's overseas, that Seth Rollins underwent surgery last Tuesday for a torn meniscus. I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure that's a pretty significant injury that he wrestled with. And The Rock called him the MVP. What do you guys think of that? Seth Rollins, real quick. He's going to be out for a while. How do you think that's going to affect some of these storylines?
I'll jump in. I've never been the biggest of Seth Rollins fans. I think he did great with the Shield. I'm personally not going to miss him. I really don't like those dynamic entrances. I feel like Lady Gaga's coming to the ring. That's just me. He's great on the mic. He's a great wrestler. I can't take that away from him. However, I'm not a fan of him and the man.
this kind of tells me why that match with Drew McIntyre was not as long as I thought it was going to go.
Absolutely.
And he spent a lot of time on the ground, if you noticed tonight. He did. I mean, he did his usual, but that match I thought would have went longer. Phil, what do you think of that? Do you think that he put on a good show for that?
I think he wrapped it up, man, and just went in there like a good soldier. And, even Seth Rollins at 50% is still better than a lot of people at 100%. So, again, just a testament to his ability and to really the layout of the match and how they creatively worked around it, No doubt he has a lot of guts. But I kind of agree with Bruce. I don't like the whole swishy thing, coming out and that sort of thing. Captain Limp Wrist, he's a little bit much sometimes. But
what are you looking at, you clown emoji?
Wearing his wife's clothes and all.
Clothes, yeah. Manny, what do you think? No Seth Rollins for a while.
All the respect in the world for the guy for doing what he did. I mean, I've never had that injury, but I've been told it's very, very painful.
Definitely
wrestled 2 nights in a row. Put on, epic performances. I think he deserves a time off anyway, injury or no. I mean, the guy's been a workhorse, but I do hope when he comes back, they repackage him a little bit. They got to take away some of that crap.
Yeah, this whole story unraveled because Becky Lynch put out a tweet earlier in the week saying that she was not taking time off. Whoever said that, it was wrong. So now you know why. She's going to be on the road, overseas tour coming up and all that. Seth is going to be home, and Becky Lynch put a comment out this afternoon saying that his rehab will be very active because he'll be chasing his kid around the house. Yeah, so
that's hard work, man.
It is hard work, but we're halfway through the show here. We're going to take a quick break. We got some new commercials, guys, new sponsors, so you want to check this out. So we'll be right back. You're watching Wrestling Remembered here on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel, and there's the clock striking 12 with Phil's house.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
For years, we were known as Central Veterinary Associates. And we know that some of you were not exactly thrilled with the services that were provided.
But a new day has arrived. We're changing and will now be known as Premier Veterinary Medical Group.
But it's much more than a name change. It's a new management team, a new attitude, with a new state-of-the-art modern facility in Rockville Centre, New York.
We're going all out to provide the best possible care for your pets. And that includes 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week emergency care from a team of highly trained professional emergency care veterinarians.
So check out the all-new Premier Veterinary Medical Group. We're ready to serve Nassau and Queens counties with compassion, commitment, and the utmost confidence.
And we have immediate openings for overnight emergency vets with great pay and outstanding benefits. Contact us today at premierveterinarymedicalgroup.com/careers.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops? Why not add a little bit of spice or just a touch of heat to make the difference? Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
Looking to improve your fitness business while keeping your bottom line in good shape? Let the Gym Administrator help you achieve those goals. With their powerful team of fitness industry professionals at the ready, the Gym Administrator covers a wide range of industry-related products and services that will help you build your business and increase profits. The Gym Administrator works with reliable industry suppliers and vendors that place a heavy emphasis on service, just the way you remember it. Give them a call at 914-494-1066 or visit them on the web at thegymadministrator.com, as well as all social media platforms. The Gym Administrator, all your fitness needs under one roof. Scan the barcode at the bottom of the screen to get started today.
All right, folks, we are back. Wrestling Remembered. We're talking epic promos.
We got epic new commercials there, Joe.
We got the usual. Oh, thank you. Yeah, did you hear one? No, I think I was in one.
The Gym Administrator.
Yeah.
And then the vet with Caitlin Monty. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, that was good stuff. That was a name change kind of thing, right? They went through a name change. ESO, you know about that?
No, I'm not. No, I just know we had the new commercials coming on this week. That's all I had gotten on that.
Good stuff. I kind of mixed them up, so we get a little bit of
nice.
You gotta love the fabulous sauce there, Johnny.
Johnny Fabo,
John Cena Senior.
That Methuen accent there, yeah.
John Cena, fabulous. That's awesome. Good stuff there. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting Money in the Pharaoh. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So that's great. That's right. Speaking of, does somebody want to go through the chat for me and take a look? Phil, you want to go ahead and say hi to everybody out there?
Yeah, I certainly do. Let's take a gander and see. A couple new arrivals, too. Old friends, new arrivals, I see. Let's look back here. Little Patty's in the house. Great to see her back with us consistently, Ibzan, who's everywhere. He gives Bruce a shout-out, too. Give him a shout-out. Luce is here. I don't think now I see Luce. There he is. Yeah. Wow. So we've got some new people jumping in, joining us a little later. And so good to see. You know, what's better on a Friday night, right? Nothing.
Nothing. Talk Wrestling Remembered, folks. We're going to try and make this the most watched program on Money in the Pharaoh. Right, ESO? No,
absolutely.
You love the 30. We love the 32. So let's keep
they're all fun. The 30 is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. Different concepts. So, hey.
It's funny. It's like watching a Love Boat because I've been watching Love Boat. It's the same characters over and over, same people playing different roles. You got to love it. I friggin' love the Love Boat. I don't know what it is. That's all I've been watching between the Bruins and wrestling. It's been the Love Boat. Ask Baby Cakes. It's just, I don't know, something about it.
They talk about Irish Alzheimer's. You know what that is, right? You forget everything but the grudges, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, wrestling Alzheimer's is where you forget everything but the wrestling. And here we remember. This is wrestling remembered.
That is true.
Wasn't Hulk Hogan on the Love Boat at one point?
What's that?
Wasn't Hulk Hogan or one of the wrestlers?
Yes, he was.
He was. Yeah. Reggie Jackson was on one time, but I think he was with the Angels then. I don't think he was with the Yankees. Benny would
later years.
There you go, Benny. I got to ask you, who's Angelia Hopper?
That's the Playmate.
That's Beth.
I didn't know that. I'm late to the game here. I'm looking at everyone saying hi, Beth. And I'm going
doing a little gimmick change there. No, that's Beth Harper, the Playmate.
Yep. All right, Playmate. There you are. She just changed her name to Playmate. That might make it easier.
There you go. That'd be easier.
She changed she's under a new email. Okay. So the
boss is in the house.
So the feds are probably after her, right? She's changing her email and stuff like that.
That's typically why people change their names, right?
I'm just kidding. It's funny when we moved to Centerville, Iowa, it's a small town, and we're big city folks. So like, why'd you move here? And instead of going through that long, drawn-out story, I would just say witness protection. And they would laugh and walk away. And I'm like, no, I'm kidding. But a lot of people took that, and the rumor was around town that, I was under witness protection,
Those small towns, man.
Yeah, you got to love it. So I had to tell me I was just kidding when I said that. It's just, you want to know why we moved here? Ask Baby Cake. She'll tell you why.
You're hiding from Whitey.
Yeah, Whitey. There you go.
You're hiding from Whitey.
Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us. We love it. And if you're watching on the replay after this is over, thank you as well for supporting Money in the Pharaoh YouTube channel. It's greatly appreciated. So we're talking epic promos here. We've gotten a few here. I'm going to try and throw one in here. 2001. This kind of coincides with what's going on here. We got Vince McMahon kissing Trish Stratus in front of his wife, Linda. Linda was comatose at the time. Anybody remember this one?
Yeah, vaguely. I try to forget it.
Now, this wasn't because of Kane's tombstone, was it?
I don't think so. Not yet.
Okay.
Something was going on between Vince and Linda because it was right after this that she snapped out of it and she wanted a divorce and all that.
Yeah.
But this is really, really, really right now life imitating art, or art imitating life. You can do whatever you want with Vince McMahon under federal investigation for his supposedly sex trafficking, the Janelle Grant lawsuit and all that stuff. And he had a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? He had a lot of promos with Trish Stratus. She was used in very compromised positions, even with Triple H. Stephanie had a role. Yeah, so you're laughing. You remember this stuff?
Oh yeah. Poor him. He has to kiss Trish Stratus, man.
And
must be great to book yourself.
If I play the video, they kissed. mouths open, tongues slashing. It was like, holy, shit.
Tonsil hockey.
And I am glad that Linda recovered after that and was able to serve in a governmental role after that.
No kidding. But it's like, but she's been in a lot of those. I mean, she's a WWE Hall of Famer. She's a great athlete. She's women's champion. She's part of that Divas Revolution. Her and Lita had great matches and so forth. I respect her in all those ways. But you got to ask yourself, with this Vince McMahon thing and all that stuff, some of these promos that she was in were very, very provocative and used. I mean, I remember one where Stephanie walked in and supposedly Triple H was trying to show her
a hammerlock.
A hammerlock.
Hammerlock.
Yes. Looked like he was behind her. Looked very compromising. Like he was
the old Pat Patterson go behind.
Yeah, the go behind. Yeah, no courtesy of a reach around either. I get it, but
oh my.
But that was pretty wild. I was like, okay, now very provocative. Benny, did you watch that?
No, I was going to say he should have showed her the small package. That'd be my my take.
But I mean, outside of Sable, which makes you wonder, with her entrances and all her to-dos and puppies and Attitude Era and all that stuff. This was Trish Stratus was no joke. She was a fitness guru. She was an athlete, but then she's put in these positions. So you wonder now if, a line was crossed backstage with her and Vince McMahon of some sort, because she's been awful quiet about all these situations. So I don't know. Am I talking too much about this, Phil? What do you think?
Oh, I was just typing back to Ibsen in the chat, Joe. I didn't mean to. You're talking too much about what, Trish and her
Trish and her provocative promos. I mean, she was put in some interesting situations backstage, and then of course on stage with the Vince McMahon kiss and all this stuff. But
she was, in my estimation, they talked about Sunny being the most downloadable and of course Sable and everything else. But for my money, Trish was top of the list for so many reasons why.
I'm right there with you, Phil.
Yeah. So, and there was a big to do before she even came in. I remember there was a pretty big buildup, at least online, anticipating her arrival. This girl was a pre-med student too. This woman, so a very smart woman, obviously very athletic, and
from Canada, right? She's a Canadian.
And I had the good fortune of meeting her once, and she's really just a wonderful, wonderful person.
Yeah, and she's from Canada too, right? I think so.
Yeah, Toronto, right?
Toronto, yeah. So she's she had that banner going with her. I just remember her debut with the cowboy hat. She also came out as a manager too. Didn't she manage somebody?
She managed Test and somebody.
Oh yeah, Test. Andrew Martin passed away.
Her first couple of promos though were very awkward. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
she didn't
have that gift of gab. I think she was one of those athletes that had to work. I mean, I don't know if she went to speech therapy or whatever, but after that, she still sounds kind of off a little bit, but she makes up for it and everything.
I don't mind.
Yeah, Trish Stratus, unbelievable. So, Benny, you sent me this one last minute. Hard Times. Is that the one right there? No, that's
the WrestleMania 5 Macho Man. I hate your guts.
Yep.
To Hogan. Look at the expression on his face. The guy's sweating. His eyes are blood red. I mean, if that is not a legit promo, I don't know what is.
I mean, he's in fiery hell with that green screen flames in the background. I mean, you talk about playing this up, because don't forget, there wasn't digital media back then and all that stuff. This was a promo that was, he was sweating. I don't know if that was real sweat. Maybe it was oil put on there, and you get the fiery background. So you have to
no baby oil.
Yeah, I mean, this looks legit.
What percentage of this do you think was shoot versus work?
Oh, that's a good question. With that,
it's got to be at least half shoot.
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, you gotta. I mean, a good promo. You have to come up with something inside of you to to make it real. And there was we know the history between Hogan and Savage. So, what do you think, ESO? How much was real? How much was work?
I mean, I was there was definitely some bad blood at that point. I mean, we've heard it through outside of that, even through Linda Hogan and outside sources. So I mean, 50-50 maybe, but you know, they became really good, close friends again after that, and then had another split up. I mean, that's probably the rockiest relationship in wrestling was Randy Savage and Hogan.
Yeah, that was a love-hate all the way. Yes.
Yeah, love-hate, and Vince McMahon laughed his way to the bank because they put on some epic matches and so forth. And I just remember, obviously, when the Mega Powers exploded, I was in the Navy, believe it or not, and I was working on a Saturday night. I was overseas. It was Saturday night. It was late at night. I was on duty, and the satellite, I asked the guys up in the satellite room, you just throw on. I remember a channel that would carry wrestling, and it happened to be on, and I just happened to catch the Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage backstage with Miss Elizabeth on the stretcher. And when he pushed Miss Elizabeth, she went flying. That wasn't a push. He threw her. You guys ever watch? You ever seen that? I looked at it, and I'm on the ship.
I haven't seen it lately, but yes, I have seen it.
Oh my God. He throws her, literally throws her. And I'm like, okay, what part of that is a work and what part of that isn't? It's like, that was amazing. And that Hogan gets mad. You know what, Phil, you remember that?
Yeah, it was very dramatic. Even for the time, even now, it would, I think, be considered dramatic because Elizabeth, you know, to the is obviously a little lady, you know.
Right.
Certainly isn't built, one would think, for athleticism, but it's my understanding she was also quite the aerobics teacher at the gym where Macho Man met her. So she was in really good shape, obviously taking a lot of step classes and had a little more athleticism than I think we give her credit for. So, yeah, very dramatic moment.
Speaking of Miss Elizabeth, another candidate for the WWE Hall of Fame. Have no reason. I don't know why she's not in it. Anybody have any explanation on that? ESO?
No good reason on that at all. I mean, is Lex Luger in?
No, Lex Luger's not.
No. He was actually rumored that type of thing where, you know, the cause of her death, you know, that lifestyle she was leading at the end.
Lex Luger was on podcast thinking he was getting the call this year. So I don't know if that was a Vince McMahon thing and that changed when Triple H took over. I don't know.
I did hear something about that
because I don't know if you noticed, but I think it was during Heyman's speech or something. No, actually, it was after Heyman's speech. He commented, no, it was during Heyman's speech. He says, in case you're wondering who chose the inductees for this year, it was Triple H. Triple H chose every single one of those inductees. Now, we all probably know that The Rock probably had something to do with it because Leah Mavia was involved.
Oh, yeah.
But Thunderbolt Patterson, you know, that was a out of nowhere type of pick, you know, inductee. But, you know, it is what it is. But Miss Elizabeth, you know, why she's not in there, I haven't a clue. I mean, you got to understand. She was successful over in WCW as well. You know,
who would induct her now?
What's that?
If Elizabeth were going to go into the Hall of Fame, who would induct her now?
Induct her?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good question because even Lanny's gone now, which is still I can't get over. You know,
I would have to say, if anything, Hulk Hogan.
I would agree with that.
It'd have to be Hogan. He's the only one alive and in good standing, so to speak, to get up on the stage and induct somebody. So yeah, I think it would be her. Same thing with Chyna. I think Triple H should induct Chyna when she goes in. She's gonna go in. It's just a matter of time because everyone's pushing for her. But I think Triple H would be a candidate for that. Obviously, they were together, but that might be uncomfortable for Stephanie. You never know. But you know, think about it. Who else would be able to put her in there? Jeff Jarrett, maybe. She's the one that she defeated him for the Intercontinental title. So I don't know. You know, could be anybody.
How about
X-Pac? No,
X-Pac.
you're right. You're right. No, go down the list. X-Pac. Yeah,
that would be a little kinky, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. One night in China.
I used to love those signs. I've been in China.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've been in China too, or something like that. It was weird. and they would show them. It's like, what the hell, you know? Unbelievable. So moving on. How about this one, guys? Medusa trashing the WWF champion. This was an iconic moment. You guys remember this one?
Certainly do. And there's Mongo to the side. God bless Mongo. Yeah.
Mongo. He was in the hospital recently for a UTI, right?
I think he's out now, thankfully. He is a tough son of a gun.
ESO, do you remember this?
Oh, yeah. This is when I was coming back from college, moving back to New York. Absolutely. Medusa Michelli was one of my favorite wrestlers in the 80s. You know, probably that first female wrestler I had a big crush on. And then kind of crazy that she moved on to monster trucks.
Yeah,
it is. But she's still wrestling and making appearances. I think she came to Iowa like a couple months ago.
somewhere. I don't know if it was Des Moines or somewhere north, but she out of nowhere she was at a signing somewhere. So it's kind
She
of
gets everywhere, Joe. We had her out in Boston in Melrose just 2 years ago or so to one of Dan Marotti's last shows, and so had an opportunity to spend some time with her too.
And she did great. She looked great inducting Bull Nakaro there at the
Bull Nakano. Yeah, she looked good. Yep, she looked
And Bull
great.
looked pretty good too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Medusa actually is a What a Day supporter. She's been on What a Day, and we've talked with text message. You know, we talk now and then, so we check in. She loves what I do, and she's great person. She's a very spiritual-minded person outside the ring. She's kind of neat to talk to. Her perspective on life is different than others. So if you ever get a chance to meet her, I definitely would. So, Benny, you had some other ones you sent me. Which one do you think you want to go with next?
How about Ric Flair's original retirement?
Okay, this one right here, right?
Yeah.
So we got Greg Valentine there, J.J. Dillon in the background. Is that his wife off to the left? Who's the blonde next to Cena? Anybody know? Anybody figure that one out?
Maybe it's one of his daughters.
Oh, that might be his older daughter, right? The older daughter than Flair. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Conrad's wife.
Conrad. Unbelievable.
That was such an emotional speech. He did his promo, Ric Flair, and then he's just getting ready to leave the ring, handing the mic to the guy at ringside, and Triple H's music hits, and he says, "Rick, if you think that these people are the only ones who want to thank you," and then when the Four Horsemen music started, and Flair just closed his eyes, and you could see the tears, and it was so genuine. It was really an emotional moment.
I remember that. That was on Raw at the end, right? They brought him out.
It was the Raw after the next Raw after WrestleMania.
Yep.
In 2008. Yes.
What else happened that night? Something else happened that night. Was he involved in something? Or is that just something at the end? Because Triple H brought him out, right?
He came out on his own. No, he came out on his own.
Oh, he did. I thought they called him out. Maybe that was an after one. Maybe that was an after one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an epic.
But the Four Horsemen, Ricky Steamboat, Valentine, Batista, Orton. You name it, they were in the ring with him. Even Taker at the end.
Yeah, that was the. I think you mentioned that was the night after WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that was the. I'm sorry, I love you.
Yeah, that was down in Florida, right? It was hot down there that night, if I remember correctly. He was sweating like a bastard in the ring. Phil, you remember that one?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with alcohol either, Joe, I'm sure. He had the beer sweats.
And he said he would never get in a wrestling ring ever again.
Yeah. The immortal words of Terry Funk. I'm really retired. No, I'm not. ESO, you remember that one?
No, I actually didn't remember until you brought it up, but it was definitely a classic moment there. Ric Flair, how many retirements can you have? And he's probably going to do it again.
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time.
I just remembered another one you sent me, Benny. How about CM Punk's pipe bomb?
Oh yeah,
one of the greatest promos ever. There, he definitely changed the course of wrestling with that one a little bit.
ESO, you got a little bit on this? You know what he said during that? Can you remind us what he said?
I can't remember the promo there, but
I have a little bit of trivia for you guys, though.
Yeah. We got trivia. It's trivia time.
Right. Yeah, because CM Punk wound up sitting there after John Cena got speared through a table, and a table, ladders, and chairs. Or I think it might have been just a tables match. Okay. So Cena lost the match. And that was, then Punk went out and cut his pipe bomb. Who was Cena's opponent that night?
Ooh. What year was this?
2011. See if anybody in the chat room knows.
Oh, it's got to be wasn't Dolph Ziggler or something like that, was it?
No.
Wouldn't have been Edge, no.
Nope.
2011, when I was like ESO, I was just brushing up on it daily monthly, because the kids were all in sports and I really didn't have time to sit down and watch wrestling like I do now.
Yeah.
So I remember the pipe bomb was all over the news and all that, but I don't think I even actually watched it. I just read about it.
What about, was it Mr. Chinless there? James Ainsworth there?
Yeah, every man with two hands has a fighting chance to send dick pics to underage girls. No, it was actually it was our truth.
I swear to God, I was going to say that. Oh my God!
R-Truth
Yeah.
making an appearance on Raw with John Cena. Do you think he saw
R-Truth
him?
defeated John Cena in a tables match. Yes.
Do you think he saw him? You think R-Truth saw him? Is that why he lost?
Little Jimmy interfered. That's why.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Little Jimmy interfered. You gotta love it. I love R-Truth now. You
Oh,
talk
I've
about
always loved him. He's always been
gold.
great.
Guy's a treasure.
Right. You gotta understand the TV time he's getting now is priceless. He's making the most of every second on TV. And was it you, Issa? Who said it the other night on the 30 when he came running up behind Damian Priest when he hoisted his title up? He came up behind him with the Raw tag title. Was that you or Dan? Somebody said it the other night.
I think Dan was talking about that, but we did this. We were talking about R-Truth last night a little bit, and just that epic situation on Monday where he was calling Triple H Ciampa. That was great.
Oh, that was awesome. The other night. Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa.
real quick on the retirement, Ric Flair. Little Patty says it was kind of disappointing that all the Four Horsemen spoke at Ric's retirement, except Barry Windham. Interesting note there. That was 2011. Where was Barry Windham then? He wasn't still wrestling, was he? No.
Windham was in the ring though. He was introduced.
Oh, she said that he wasn't there.
It was.
Oh,
Tully.
maybe. Oh, they all spoke except for Barry Windham.
Yeah, it was Arn, Tully, JJ, and Windham.
If you notice, even at the Hall of Fame ceremony this year, Barry Windham didn't speak a lot. He let Mike Rotundo take over. From what I've been told, outside of the wrestling persona, he actually is a very, very soft-spoken person, and he doesn't necessarily feel comfortable in those situations.
I've met him a couple of times at Full Horseman events, and yeah, he doesn't say much. Hi, hello, that type of stuff. But he doesn't really. I don't know if that's I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't do that. I mean, that's a good thing. I hope he's not experiencing some symptoms of something that's worse. You know what I mean? At that age, when you get like that, so you never know. I mean, my mind wanders as well, like anybody else. But you see these guys in their glory days, and you're like, oh, he talked, he did everything. But then you go back to some of the promos with him in U.S. Express. It's like Mike Rotundo did most of the talking as well when you look at it. So
yeah, he could cut a promo. I mean, I remember when he came back as the Widowmaker there, and I mean, he was cutting amazing promos. I mean, we knew who it was, but
yeah. When I was in the Navy, I was stationed down in Norfolk, Virginia. I have no idea why I'm talking about the Navy tonight, but it is what it is. I got tickets to the Norfolk Scope to see NWA wrestling, and he fought Ric Flair for the title, but it was it was a house show, and
that was always a great match.
That was actually the first time I saw Barry Windham in person because I never got a chance to see him at the Garden and all that. So it was kind of neat with Ric Flair and a WWF guy in Virginia going to an NWA show was kind of neat for me. Lex Luger was there. I think this is when Lex Luger was about to win the title. It was like 89 or something like that, 88, 89. And he was up there, and I'm like, this guy is huge. Like, this guy's he's going somewhere. Obviously he was with WWF later on, but I could tell Lex Luger was going somewhere when I saw him and so forth. So Jason Moaning said Wyndham looked the most intimidating as the Widowmaker. I'm assuming he's talking about at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Because he did. He had a hat on, right? It was down. He had his hat down. Well, you really couldn't see Wyndham's face, right? Do you guys remember?
When he came back as the Widowmaker, he came back with black hair, and so that was it was definitely a different look for the blonde, the golden boy that we knew for all those years.
A number
of 280 pounds too, or so. He was a big boy. Yeah,
I gotta apologize. I'm weird when I'm reading text messages and chats because I'm thinking one thing and the chat's probably saying another. Because when he said Wyndham looked the most intimidating as the Widowmaker, I perceived that as the Hall of Fame, what we were talking about. So obviously not. Jason, I apologize if I misunderstood that. But Loose Cannon says Barry is like a chill stoner, y'all. Oh wow, that was good. All right, we got a whole ton here too. So let me see, what's another one you sent me here? How about this one? I think Phil, you talked about this last night. Benny, you sent me. Yes, no, Phil, you sent this to me. Boom, Raven and Cactus Jack.
That was a great one. Yes,
that was the Magical Land of WCW or something like that.
What a classic promo. Yeah. And again, much in the style of the ECW promos, about 7 minutes in duration.
Right.
Totally very organic, spontaneous. And Raven did a great job actually comforting Mick Foley, who was, about ready to lose it during this promo. Just what he did is he basically was contrasting ECW with WCW and WWF,
Right.
and talking about the creativity, or in a way, the lack of creativity in WCW. And he said, "Where else can a tough Jewish kid from Brooklyn become a black man from Macon? Where can a kid from New Hampshire become a Frenchman? From Connecticut?
Nice.
Just unbelievable." He talked about Kevin Nash's 10 incarnations in WCW. He talked about Mikey Whipwreck going from a sweet, innocent boy to this guy who's got a brain of jelly now. And what's going to happen to Mikey in 20 years and 40 years? He was saying in that screechy voice that he had back then. Dramatic, just so effective, talking about the warm, soothing energy coming out of WCW programming, and Uncle Ted and Uncle Eric, and just, it was really amazing. And he really made such a strong case for ECW, saying that he was stuck in ECW. He's scarred up and he can't go anywhere else. It was just tremendous. And much like the what I would say the best promo, one of the best promos I've ever seen was Steve Austin's promo in between Stunning Steve in WCW, Stone Cold in WWF, Superstar Steve Austin. He recounted the whole saga of his firing. There he is.
You're talking about that one, right?
He did. Yep. He did an incredible Hulk Hogan imitation, a great Dusty imitation.
Is that the 7-minute promo?
Pardon?
Is that the infamous 7-minute promo?
Yes, it is. The Superstar promo, as it's called. And I used to know it almost verbatim because it was very inspiring. And he basically talked about, his self-worth. I mean, this was from the heart.
Right.
This was in the Stone Cold voice. I mean, we talk about the Michael Hayes interview when he does the Austin 316, which just, which just sent everything into the stratosphere. But this got the rocket in and was blasting off already. It was just tremendous. And again, it was legitimate. It was organic. It was no holds barred. It was a pipe bomb before. This was in 1995.
Right.
I saw this on a videotape that a friend of mine sent me from Connecticut. He worked for Titan Sports at the time. He was plugged into the MSG network down there. And I watched it and watched it and watched it and watched it and was just so inspired by it. Because again, despite what everyone else was saying, he knew his self-worth. He knew he was going to be the superstar, and he knew that there was no one there who could stop him. And you know what? Look what happened. Unbelievable. I'd suggest anyone needs some inspiration, go back to that promo. Talks about Eric Bischoff's secretary telling her secretary to call Steve and to fire him over the phone, and just how impersonal it was back then. And just, the Hogan imitations. No, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
And then the Dusty imitation. No, that's not for you, baby. And he's talking about going out there and having him wrestle 7 minutes with Alex Wright and show him what you can do and everything else. And he said he's been fed nothing but garbage in WCW. He became garbage. And he's here in ECW, and it's just unbelievable. So check it out.
I've never seen that, Bill. I have to watch that.
You have to watch it.
Yeah.
I would suggest it.
I remember of it. I don't remember watching it back then. I remember something like that. He gave an excellent promo, and that's a hidden gem, really, when you think about it.
It is legitimately one of the best promos ever because it's such a shoot.
Yeah,
and it really, again, just it serves as an inspiration and a great characterization of. And he talks about reunion. He talks about the sportatorium in Dallas, Texas, coming up through there. He touches upon every element in wrestling. It's just,
we'll have to check that. That's on YouTube.
Yeah, one of the best. Absolutely.
Did you see B40 brought up a really good one that we haven't brought up yet?
Yeah,
that was the Scott Hall one, 1996. You may know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Good. What is
Short
it?
and sweet.
What, good times never last, but good guys do. Something bad guys do. Something like that.
Yeah.
Bad times never last. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I loved when he said that. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Yeah, I love that stuff. Let's segue into the this one right here. Who remembers this one?
That probably the beginning of the Attitude Era.
Is this not epic or what? I mean, this is
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't know to this day if this was a promo that you write out and then practice, or is this off the cuff? You guys know anything, any details on this?
Well, supposedly he came up with the 316 part off the cuff.
Right, but he has a lot. He says a lot before leading up that. He walks up the stairs to Michael Hayes or Doc Hendricks at the time, and he's like, he goes into this long diatribe. You know, I just watched this long diatribe of, I've been here, I've done this. You know, I think he mentions Jake the Snake. I just beat the crap out of him or something. Phil, you got something on this?
Yeah, he was legitimately pissed off too because he had a busted lip. He had stitches in his lip, so I imagine that kind of fired him up a little bit. And I have to wonder, if not for that busted lip, if not for that injury, that potato, whatever it was, would he have been as fired up? Would this have come out of, I'd like to think yes. And again, referencing that ECW interview, he had it in him all along. I mean, just incredible promo skills, and not to mention in ring. So, it was just a great confluence of things.
Unbelievable promo. I mean, that changed the course of wrestling. That basically kicked off. The ratings improved, but this was the beginning of the real Attitude Era, so to speak. It started with Stone Cold, Austin 316, I don't give a shit attitude.
Yeah, it was the shot across the bow.
I think memory serves me right. Bret Hart was still the champion at this time, and
just before the screw job.
They were trying to phase him out. You could see the change was coming. You know, a promo like that, Austin 316 means I just kicked your ass. They never really swore on Raw or any pay-per-views like that back then. So when you heard that, you were like, and I think when Michael Hayes heard him say it, he was like, whoa, that was a big deal. Austin 316, and we all know what happened after that. Those t-shirts to this day still sell. And we celebrate 316 Day every year now, March 16th. That's incredible,
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people like Matt Riddle and RVD will be celebrating tomorrow. It's 420 Day, right?
420.
Yep.
I saw a great meme today on Facebook or whatever I was on. It said that it's 419. Don't forget to leave cookies and milk out for Willie Nelson tonight.
I saw one similar for RVD.
Yeah, RVD. I know you guys see what Heyman did? Heyman destroyed him jokingly at the Hall of Fame, talking about how he smokes pot and stuff like that. And that was an
Heyman promo.
Speaking of great T-shirts, Taz had a shirt back in the day in ECW. It said Taz 632, twice as pissed.
Twice as that was a good one. Yeah,
and Taz had some great promos back in the ECW days too.
He's a great guy. Hey, do you guys know anything about that? That Taz was in the ring the other night with Jericho and Hook and all that. He took a little bit of a bump, and they said it was unexpected. And Taz, I guess, has a legitimate bad knee. He obviously he doesn't wrestle anymore, but they were concerned that he took that fall. You guys ever hear anything about that after that?
Didn't hear any more, but I was curious about it because the fall itself did look like a surprise, and
it looked awkward. Yeah,
it wasn't a conventional bump by any means.
Yeah, I thought definitely. I was reading up on that, and he wasn't expected to take one. This is the trouble with Dynamite. It's like they go rogue on these promos. I think Tony Khan sends them out, say this and be done, and they go out there and they say something similar to what Tony Khan wants to say, or maybe what he says. But then they do something off the charts, and that's a Jim Ross reference. This is off the charts. But Benny, what do you think? You think Taz is okay? You think these promos are?
I never watch AEW, so I couldn't even begin to tell you. I hope for his sake. I like the guy, so he's a fellow pen pal in the Wrestler magazine. He came a little bit later than I did. Yes.
Oh no shit, that's funny. That's funny. And Hook, by the way, is Taz's son. You guys know that?
Yes. Yeah.
So it was interesting, and rumor is that he's going to become a free agent soon. And the WWE is looking at him. Believe it or not, I don't know why.
WWE doesn't need another small guy. They've got enough small guys right now. They need to get back to building these, these larger than life characters.
But it's
I don't like going to a wrestling convention and seeing, I'm 5'9", I don't like going to these conventions and seeing that I'm the same height as all these wrestlers. They're supposed to be larger than life, and I'm like, I mean, some of them are, but more and more, especially the AEW guys, they're small.
I totally agree. I've told you guys this a million times. Wrestlers are supposed to be larger than life. That's how it's always been.
Turn your head at the airport.
When they walk down, and like when I saw the Freebirds at the airport in Virginia, they were strutting. They were decent sized guys. Michael Hayes was a big guy in his prime. So wasn't Terry Gordy, and Buddy Roberts may have been small, but he was built, and you could tell he could mess with you. And these guys were going through the airport, hair flowing, all that stuff, and everyone was like in awe. That's how I remember Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson leaving the Garden out the front door with their tag titles to go to the hotel. Phil, I don't know if you remember that. Tony Atlas was huge. When I say
he
huge,
still is.
He is. Bruce and I were hanging with him in November.
I'm older now, and I'm a big guy too. But I still look at these guys like Don Morocco when he took a swipe at me coming into the Garden because I was patting him on the back. This guy was huge.
So just to give you Hook is shorter than me.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And he weighs. I mean, they're saying he weighs $180. There's no way.
I think
the guy is.
They bill him at 200. I think Bruce.
It's crazy. Phil, you were at I don't know if you got to see him or if he when he walked by the table in November. He was. I mean, he looked like a little kid.
Yeah. Bruce, you know me. I mean, I'm like 6'3", almost 250, and I was like, I felt like Andre the Giant near some of them. I know. Unbelievable.
I'm trying to figure out too, like Darby Allin, same thing. Obviously AEW's resident Daredevil. He's out now with a broken foot. But
I mean, there's only a few Rey Mysterios. There's only a few Amazing Reds. There's not.
But Ray's built. You could tell Ray's a wrestler. He's built like a wrestler. You know what I mean? You could tell he does something even when he comes out the airport and you see him, he is an athlete of some sort. And if you're not a wrestling fan, you probably just assume he's whatever. But, when you see these guys now, I tell you, it's crazy. Like you said, so walking down the street, if friggin' Finn Balor walks by me with a hat on, he's going to look like a little kid to me. I'm like, because he's short. And a lot of them are like that now. And AEW has a whole bunch of guys like that now. And I'm like, I think what it is the new thing now, and I've noticed because I interview a lot of independent wrestlers, they're building their brand. And when their brand gets big enough, whether it's a name, whether it's a character, because it's sure as hell ain't their wrestling ability and how big they are. Obviously, you can tell that now. But they build their brand and they get that following. And that's what WWE wants. They want the followers. They want new audiences. And with Hook being looked at by WWE, I think it's a major step for them that they're targeting another audience now. Young, girls, younger. They like the looks, the Justin Bieber hair and all that stuff. Because face it, Hook's got that shtick where he comes out. Yeah, he could be anybody. He tapes himself up to make him look bigger. Phil, you look
like Abercrombie and Fitch models, some of them, right?
That's the target. That's what they're going for. And Benny, you look like you're falling asleep. Are we boring you? What's going on?
I'm wide awake. No, I'm listening to Breeze behind the door here, barking at me.
Oh, really?
Benny, she didn't have her procedure yet, did she?
No, that's Monday morning.
Oh.
Is it time? Bob Barker time?
What's that?
Bob Barker, have you pet spayed or neutered? No,
yes, it is Bob Barker. Yeah. We're going to have a group prayer for Bree. Actually, for Benny, too.
It ain't cheap either.
I bet.
Wow, how much they charging you?
It's with everything. It's $665.
What? Whoa! Is it just a neuter?
Yeah, she's 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's getting.
Well, I think there's blood work involved. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh my God, okay. So back home in Massachusetts, I don't know if you remember, there's called a spay wagon. They come around $25-30. They spay or neuter your cats and dogs for you.
Where they like to use an X-Acto knife and
No, they put them out. It's a huge truck that comes.
They have them in New York too. They're pretty common. You would drop your animal off in the morning and pick it up a couple hours later.
Yeah, we've been using the same vet for probably 15 years.
That's fine. $600.
I trust the guy.
way, way, way. I don't know if the chat's teaming in, but Little Patty said, "Wow, that's a lot, Benny. $600 for a neuter."
Yeah. It's because, and Benny, what happens a lot of times, I was in the pet industry for a lot of years, and a lot of times these are actually not even done by vets anymore because it's become a very common procedure. It's done by vet techs and assistants a lot now.
No, this one's being done. We specifically requested the vet.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just talking about the price because I'm in Iowa. I told you we have 11 cats, and we took them in sections. We took, I think we took 4 and then 3 that needed to be done right away because they're approaching that age. And I think one batch was 300 and the other batch was 2 something.
Oh, per batch.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, like that's like 4 cats and then 3. I know we did Penny, my beagle back home in Boston. It was maybe $200, $300 tops. 600.
Well, I know that when I worked for the government here, one of my departments was animal services, and they had this program called, I think it was called TNR, Trap Neuter Release.
Oh yeah, they do that everywhere now.
Feral cats, and I think it was like $20-$25.
Yeah, catch and release they call it. Yeah, catch and release. It's to control the population, but
correct.
Even here, we have 3 animal clinics in Centerville, and a lot of them they deal with more than dogs and cats because I'm in the middle of the friggin' Midwest. So it's all sorts of animals they deal with. And it's cheap, but I guess that's location. You're down in Florida, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So $600 is a lot. Wow.
Yeah. It was,
Joe Myers, Penny was 400.
Yeah, there you go.
And then the cats were 500 total for 7 cat. 11 cats we did. Yeah.
I guess vets view cats as enhancement talent. Maybe that.
But that's $500 total for 11
cats.
That's
what I'm saying.
I'm just blown away by the price. That's all. And I wonder if that has to do with location. Florida, I'm sure the gas prices are $6 in California, so I can only imagine.
No, they're not that bad here. No, it's just the vet's in Palm Harbor, which is kind of a little bit of an upscale area. So I think that kind of drives the price a little bit. But I mean, I've been using the same vet for years and years. Trust the guy implicitly, and that's
great. I'm just shocked at the price. That's all. $600 per dog. I mean, so and they keep it for
having another kid.
Oh, pets are kids. Definitely, they cost money.
Oh, definitely my child.
Yeah, I have a whole cabinet full of cat food. A whole cabinet dedicated to cat food and dog treats. And all that stuff. So I can imagine. ESO, you're laughing. ESO, do you have a pet? Do you have a cat?
No. I've had everything over the course of life. Right now, I don't have any pets, and it's kind of nice not having to go home and take care of something. So.
Yeah. So you worked in a vet clinic. You said you had a.
No, I was a general manager and district manager for one of the larger pet retailers for quite a few years.
So you've been on the other side of what haven't you done, Bruce? What haven't you done? A master of, jack of all trades, master of none.
Schooling wise, I went to school for graphic design. I just ended up in management because there's not always those jobs out there, and somehow I did that for about 6-7 years in between. Were
you a male gigolo though? That's the
gigolo. Yeah,
I had to put myself through college somehow.
There you go. See,
hey, you gotta plug that bar in your town there. What's the bar called?
Golden Rail Ale House. It's the bar that was featured in Super Troopers. And also Omar Epps' Trick. We always have something getting filmed there. It seems like.
Yeah, I follow you guys on Facebook, and there's something always going on.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow we got this big thing called Day of Games.
The game thing. Yeah, I saw that. You're playing all sorts of games or something like that.
Yeah. Well, every year we do a big event called Jamie Stock, where we raise money for one of our patrons that passed away from juvenile diabetes. We do a big. Thing to raise money for that. That's every fall. But in the process, through the year, we do little things to build up, a little bit more money so that they can get bigger prizes and donate a little bit more and really just keep the interest going.
Nice. So we're going to wrap things up here. Phil, you got any last words of wisdom for us?
Go Sox. No, it's exciting time in the wrestling business, and as exciting as the contemporary stuff that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it still pales in comparison to the glory days of yesteryear, and there are so many great times, great matches, great feuds, great promos, just great memories. So that's why I like this program, and I like to take that walk down memory lane with all you guys. And
B40 B40 says, "Go Islanders!" Yeah, they just barely made it into the playoffs. By the way, those Islanders.
Another shout out to B40. Did you see his comment a little bit earlier? All petite wrestling.
Yeah, there you go.
What is it? I'm sorry. Say that again. What did he say?
All petite wrestling.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, even some of the girls, Sky Blue and all them, they're great athletes, but when you can't see over the top rope, that's a friggin' problem. You know what I mean? It's like
you can't get on the rides at the amusement park. That's not a good thing.
I don't know if you guys watch NXT at all, but those girls, they have a mixed bag. Roxanne Perez is small. Lyra Valkyria is small. But they have some other girls. Santino Morella's daughter, Ariana Grace, wrestles. She's got to be at least almost 6 feet tall. I don't know where she got the height from.
Taller than him.
Yep. JC Jane. There's a lot of girls that are coming up. And I like the NXT because they feature the women a lot. And they get their training, get their TV time and all stuff. They have some really good tall athletes coming out. Saul Ruka. Looks like she was a pro volleyball player on the beach. She's got
right. Yeah,
6 feet tall.
She's got a great look and a great finisher too.
So she's got and then Nikita Lyons. I know.
One of my favorites.
She's not an average sized woman.
No.
I like that wrestling. Women need to be wrestlers, and you can be good looking and sexy and all that. Nia Jax. She's big. She does her thing, but like you said, when a wrestler walks in the room, you want to notice them. You don't want to be ordering from them, like they're a waiter. Or something. So,
there you go.
But anyways, all right, we had a good show tonight. We had a good chat. Good everybody. I guess we held some people hostage because it is Friday night. TGIF, right? But we're gonna head out of here. We're gonna enjoy the rest of our Friday night. I want to thank everybody live in the chat. Everybody watching on the replay at home, I want to thank ESO, the player, and Phil DeCesare. We got a lot of stuff coming up. I know True Crime. We got some stuff cooking on that. Phil and me got something cooking. I got this Sunday. I have Ring Boy Scandal guy Gerard Millet's coming on. He's got some new dirt.
That man,
new dirt, new lies. He's caught Lee Cole in a major lie. Most recently. To the point that Lee Cole.
Well, that would be every time the guy opens his mouth, really.
Yeah, Lee Cole doesn't. I think he blocked him. He's got all sorts of stuff going on. And believe it or not, I just found out, Phil, a guy named John from Braintree was also a ring boy at that time. And
really?
He's coming forward now in defense of Mel Phillips and all that stuff. So we got some cool pictures to show you guys. It's going to be very interesting. He's got a story to tell. And then on Wednesday, Phil's going to join me. Wednesday, we got the son of Harley Race, Justin Race, coming on. If you follow him on Facebook, he has been inundated. I forget that word. Phil, you're the master at those words. Inundated Facebook with some unbelievable photos of Harley Race at home with his kids. They are unbelievable. Awesome. Baby pictures, all that stuff. So if you check out Justin Race coming on, and ESO, you got stuff going on because you're always behind the scenes, man. Right?
The next big thing is the 30 on Thursday.
Yeah, Benny,
Benny will defend his title.
All right, guys, we're gonna let you go here. I'm Joe What a Day Lowry. You need what's it say? B40. Joe What a Day Lowry. You need to do True Crime on boxer Tim Doc Anderson. Crazy story. Phil, Benny, you might want to look that one up.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. Boxer Tim Doc Anderson. Oh, crazy story. We got to look that up. B40, thanks for that. We'll check that out. But that's going to do it for us, folks. We are out of here. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you Sunday night. We will be live, and we're going to be having the Ring Boy Scandal, new information. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Later.
All right.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
What a day.
What a day.